Welcome to the Short Rod Show. You got Ben here?
And you got Brett.
We're back in the studio again. We're just bouncing back and forth all over, having a good old time, aren't we?
I know, I don't like it. I wish we were out on the ice.
Wish we could be out. The weather's just been pretty warm.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of definitely hitting the backside of ice fishing here in central Iowa.
Yep.
Yeah, for you guys in the north, I mean, obviously that are further north than us, our seasons really go, if I was going to compare it to someone along the Canadian-Minnesota border,
yep,
our season goes early ice, late ice, ice out. We don't really have, I'd say 4 out of 5 years, we really don't have a midwinter kind of lull sort of deal where the ice is 2 foot thick and
you're talking
the oxygen's getting low and fish are lulling out.
March. Early March. So like last
year. I'm talking January through.
Well, it's still on in December, but.
Sure.
Last year I was looking when we were catching those cats and the trout. That was March 9th last year in the rain.
Yeah.
Where it was just raining like crazy.
Yeah, and I believe that was last time we got out. So I mean, we're not too far off of that, but yeah, I bet we'll have another we don't drop below 30 degrees again for the foreseeable future. So
yep. The clock's ticking.
Yeah, ice is toast.
But yeah, what are we talking about today, Brett?
So yeah, we're going to touch a little bit on, so I went out with my dad over the weekend, little burrow pit pond, caught some bass. So we're chat a little bit about that.
Well, end of story there. That's all there is.
Yeah,
to
that
see.
was all we did.
All right, what else?
Well, there was a little bit because there was a guy initially on the spot that I wanted to fish, so we had to kind of move around and find what we wanted to do to get on him. Number 2, chat a little bit about late ice, ice out sort of stuff.
Yep.
And then number 3, there's a tournament coming up on Brushy. We're going to try to hit up on Saturday.
Yep, Short Rod Show's coming at you.
Late ice tourney.
Awesome.
Should be good.
That sounds good. That's all coming up on
the Short Rod Show. Hey, Ben, so I've got this buddy that's trying to start a small business, but he's having a real tough time with his digital footprint and just trying to figure all that out. Do you know anybody that could help him out?
Well, I think I do. I know a couple cool guys at this company called Evergrow Marketing, and they really specialize in helping landscape and lawn care companies maximize their digital footprint and basically bring customers to them, help them get found on the internet.
Really?
I mean, they'll work with any business. They're really looking to expand. And if you tell them that Ben and Brett sent you from the Short Rod Show, you can get 10% off your first order. Really cool.
If you're interested in the Evergrow Marketing team and what they have to offer, check them out on evergrowmarketing.com and tell them Ben and Brett from the Short Rod Show sent you.
You know, Brett, I was poking around on Facebook the other day, and I could just not find the Short Rod Show. What's the deal?
Oh, you just got to punch us in on Google.
What do you mean? We show up on Google already?
Oh, yeah. The Evergrow team hooked us up.
Holy cow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good deal. I'll try that now.
Yeah, right. You just punch in Short Rod Show, and we'll come up on our website, shortrodshow.com. It'll come up on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Awesome. So people can find us all over now.
Yeah, all over the internet.
That's great. We're also on Instagram, too. I've been trying to keep up with that. Posting some cool pictures. When we're out on the ice, you can check us out there, too.
Yeah, sweet updates.
Awesome. Check us out, guys. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us through the break. We are talking a recent ice trip that Brett got to take with his dad.
Yeah, we went out, just a little burrow pit, not too far from our house. Last year we went out there and just straight up crushed bluegills. Like, just hammer time on the bluegills this time. So this little pond. Yeah, well, there's one primary spot that's got a brush pile on it. It's in about 14 foot of water, so it's a real prime-looking brush pile that comes up, 4 or 5 feet.
Yep.
And they really sit in there pretty tight. But when we got there, somebody was already started kind of started drilling kind of the perimeter around them.
Yep.
Because, that was the spot I wanted to fish. Yep. And I didn't really know. It's a small enough body of water that there's really not any other prime spots that I knew of at that time. We'll get into the other.
Oh, okay.
You gain knowledge as you keep going. That's kind of what pushes you off into, uncharted territory. So I kind of drilled out around them, marked a few fish off bottom, whatever. So I was like, and we only had one flasher between my dad and I brought all the pole. He doesn't have anything. He brought his boots and his ice cleats, and that was about all he had.
Swung by and grabbed mine.
So what we did was I just kind of set him up there in the bucket, kind of set him where I had seen a few fish, and I was like, all right, well, sit here. I'm going to go drill some holes and see what I can find. So I started off on one direction, and I knew it was a pretty steep break that I was kind of looking for to kind of find the edge between the shore and where I was at between 14 foot. It jumps right up to, I don't know, 7 or 8 foot pretty quick. So I just kind of started drilling off in one direction towards some cattails. And I was like, well, maybe there's something up there in the shallows. Because the previous week I was catching all those bluegills in like 3 feet of water.
Oh, 1 week ago.
Well, that President's Day time that I got out there, caught those bluegills
Yep.
Here in Ankeny.
Yep.
I was only fishing 3 foot.
Yep.
Deep.
Finding a pattern.
So I was like, all right, well, we'll get, I'll work my way there and I'll try some shallows and see what happens, but didn't find much. So I started walking around. That's where I found that Rocky's twin ring. So I was walking, trying to look for other places where people had been fishing.
How hilarious is that?
Yeah, just sitting on the ice in a little drug baggie. Yeah.
So somebody out there,
some poor bastard.
Yep, they were probably they had to be up at Hanks or somewhere.
Well, it's right off where we were fishing, right off 218.
Yeah, but I mean, they had to have swung through. I don't know where else they sell them. I don't think he sells them online.
I mean, very well could have.
So swung through there, picked up a Rocky's twin ring in a bag, and got all excited and dropped out of their pocket.
Yeah,
Brett picked it up.
Yeah. So
did you give that to your dad as a crappie?
No, he
slayer?
doesn't have any ice rods.
Well, I haven't even caught anything on that, but we keep tooting.
Well, maybe open water will try it.
Oh, there we go. Troll it.
Yeah. Ooh, troll it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about that. We can try. I was thinking under a bobber.
Yeah.
Slip bobber with a minnow. But I digress.
Anyway.
So I was out walking around, and there's kind of a dam area. And there was a couple of holes. There was a little area where there's a few denser. People had been punching some holes. So I was like, all right, well, I'll kind of draw a little pattern here. I drilled a little 4x4 pattern, so 16 holes.
Yep.
And just
a couple feet apart.
I don't whatever the distance. Usually it's whatever the swing of my auger is to the next hole. So I start in the hole, I pull it up, and I swing it up, and that's the next hole I dig.
Man, yeah, you're really going after it.
So that's how you get the distance. So it's a set square. Marked a couple. So I was like, all right, well, drop down once real quick with the double jig rig. That's just the go-to money rig anymore. Picked up one bass and one little bluegill. So I was like, all right, well, I'll go get my dad. We'll come over here.
Move.
And we were probably, I don't know, maybe 100 yards off from the folks that were fishing over there. I mean, they were in a tent. It's not like they were open water and they weren't moving around. They were just in their one spot. Yeah. No. But I'm sure, I mean, I would have said the same thing if I was in that tent. I would have been like, well, who's this jackwagon coming down here and all that, fishing right next to me.
Be all tough about
You got the whole lake. Or what was that guy? What was that guy on
Old Gown Baby?
On Baby. You got the whole fucking lake.
Man. He was fishing with ice rods.
Oh yeah, he was. I couldn't tell. I couldn't even tell he was fishing when we went by him. But
he had a true short rod.
Yeah, he did have one little, and it was just one rod he had.
Just one rod.
He was just trolling along, and I came up behind him, and he didn't like that very much because
Yeah.
I didn't see that he was fishing.
Scared all the bass away.
Yeah,
All
whatever, man.
walleyes.
Whatever, old man. But so yeah, we were just kind of jigging around there, catching a few. Put him on on 2 bass he caught. I caught a couple.
Sweet.
It was a nice little afternoon.
What was your dad's thoughts on the short rod show tactics?
Oh, he's into
and
it.
the equipment.
Oh. So
is he a listener of the show?
Yeah. He and my mom listened to it.
Good. Shout out to Brett's dad and mom. That's awesome.
Yeah.
My parents listened to you.
So yeah, we were sitting there fishing, and what was happening? I can't remember what was going on. And I was like, oh, we should change. Oh, because we were changing baits like crazy. Because we'd get fish that come up to us and they'd swim off.
Oh, I'm
And
impressed.
I was like, all right, well, we got to do something. We got to change baits. And he's just like, oh, I don't know. Maybe they'll just bite it later. And I kept changing baits, and eventually they started biting it. And I'm like, Dad, we don't just talk on this podcast for just blowing shit out of our butts. These things actually work. And by God, we started changing colors and
got some results.
Got right where we needed, and then they started biting a lot better. Because they would just come up and just look at it and maybe just barely nip it. And what it was they didn't want the waxworm. So we had waxworms on to start with. They didn't want that. So my dad had thrown on a gulp yellow minnow.
Okay.
And he was getting a little bit more looks on that. So I was like, all right, well, maybe that's the profile they want. But he was running a Cadus, and then he was running the minnow out, so he was making like an L.
Oh, okay.
Then I ran the jig, and then I put on a red little rat tail looking deal. And they came up to that. I caught 1 or 2, and then I changed to the yellow rat tail, and that was the juice.
Nice.
Yep. So they were in it. Caught a couple more, and
so on plastics then?
Yeah. They were all on we caught like 1 or 2 on waxworms, but they definitely weren't into it. I mean, we had a lot of them come up and look and swim off. But everything we caught were bass after that. once we got set up. All we caught were ditch pickles. No, nothing real big. I think the biggest might have been, I don't know, 13 inches.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, in that 10 to 13 inch range. So it gives you a little tug, something to hang out, have some fun.
Southern Iowa, you call those green walleyes.
Green walleyes, yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. Well,
So
that's a
yeah,
good
we were
little
out there
outing.
for, 3 hours or something like
Yep.
that. Caught 10 fish, something like that.
What do you think of the auger setup? Was
He
the
wasn't
one
doing it.
running
No,
a
he
hand?
wasn't running it.
No, I know, but he was running a hand before.
No,
You guys were running a hand when you were down there.
he was never running anything. He wasn't all that much of a fisherman.
Oh, okay. I
Ice,
gotcha.
especially not an ice fisherman. I don't know if I ever went ice fishing with him
Oh, okay.
prior
cool.
to me being
Even
more
better.
into ice fishing.
So he got broken in right.
I broke him in ice fishing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Good deal.
Yeah, so it was a good little bite, but the ice was definitely deteriorating. I mean, I think it was 40 degrees that day. I could kind of move my foot around a little bit and probably dig in a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch into slush.
Yeah.
Had maybe 4 inches below me. Yeah, that's about as thick as ice gets down there. 4 inches.
Yeah, and then that's old ice, too, at that point.
No, it was pretty good clear ice once you broke through that little slushy bit.
But it's on its way out for sure.
Oh, I bet
That's
the shorelines are gone now.
Yeah, shoot. Don't make too big of a leap onto it.
No, I'm not one of those people that plank out. I think that's stupidity.
Yeah. Cool. So you made it out. That's the main thing. I didn't make it out this past weekend.
Yep.
Yep. Too many other things going on. But this upcoming weekend we'll be out. That'll be nice.
Yeah, Brushy.
Maybe talk about that a little bit.
The old dog, Brushy.
Brushy Creek. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's a reservoir.
Yeah, describe it a little
Kind
bit.
of lake in north. It's not really North Iowa. I'd say central.
Yeah.
Basically just right in the central Iowa. Kind of up by the Fort Dodge area. And basically it is a flooded ravine.
Yep.
And it's really cool with all the standing trees, structure, creek channel, the old creek
Road
channel running
beds,
through,
bridges, any bit of structure that you could ever, rock piles, sandbars, any bit of structure you could imagine that would be in a lake, it's in that lake.
Yep.
And the lake's only 800 acres.
Yep. Yeah, it's really interesting. And we had a lot of fun at the tournament last year.
Yeah.
I think we were just perch fishing the whole
Well, that was all we had come in. We had a few little tiny walleyes come in and all
Yep.
perch. And it's a really dynamic fishery they got up there. I mean, they've got a little bit of everything between some actually really big catfish if you can get in on them. The toughest part about this lake is not losing all your tackle fishing in the trees.
Oh, absolutely.
Because all the fish are living in the trees. And they're living down, and I believe the lake gets down to 70 or 80 feet.
Yeah, 60, 70.
I mean, yeah, that's not really all that fishable that deep, but
Yep. It's definitely an exercise, too, in using your flasher and seeing structure and getting used to fishing with, fishing right over a tree branch. And you're going to have a huge mark
where you can't see anything.
20 feet out of 30 feet.
Yep.
And you'll actually lose your jig in the shadow of the flasher cone.
And if you get into some of that depth and you're fishing those trees, a lot of times those fish aren't coming off bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You got to fish up in the trees, and they kind of just come in out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yeah, it can be hard on your flasher.
Yep.
And your eyes.
Oh, it's hard on your brain thinking through it all. You're just trying to break it down and make it work. But there's some
so
really
much
nice
going
fish
on.
in there.
Oh
Some
my
nice
gosh.
walleyes in there.
There's
a
nice everything in there.
decent night bite.
Yeah.
Caught a muskie out there.
Yeah. There's muskies in there. Perch, crappies.
Mm-hmm.
It used to really be known for crappies, and there's still a lot of nice crappies in there, but now people kind of go up there for the walleye.
Yep.
But
yeah, and there's really nice access off there too.
yeah, access is phenomenal through that whole lake.
Easy peasy.
Pilot fishing jetties, all that sort of stuff. And I know we've talked about Brushy a little bit here on the podcast.
But yeah, shout out to the Iowa State Fishing Club that puts on this tournament.
Yeah.
Last year I know that they did a whole series of tournaments and
Yeah, you're talking to the champs.
using that as a fundraiser, and Brett and I did really well and had a good time there.
Yeah.
But this year, they're just going to do the Brushy tournament and make all their money in one shot. Can't
Hopefully.
say I blame. Don't blame them.
Hopefully they have a pretty good turnout. I'd like to, have some competition.
Have some competition. Talk to some people about the podcast. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good time. There'll be hopefully we can get in a little bigger fish than what we did just with those perch. But everybody seemed to be having a tough time that day, so worked out well.
Everyone gave up except for us and one other person.
Yeah. Yeah, so talk about a little bit tactics on what's your go-to. What do you want to start out with lure-wise? Because the tournament will be over by the time this airs, so I mean we can talk about exactly what we want to do.
Yeah, I mean lure-wise, really the Cadis this year has been a moneymaker for us. I'm probably going to start with a dropper and keep you on the double Cadis rig.
No, there's no Cadis on that rig.
The Cadis with you didn't do a case at the top?
No. It's like some cheap little Chinese thing. I don't know what it is.
All right. Well, I'm going to fish a dropper rig first.
Yeah.
And try and call them in a little bit.
Yeah.
See how they're doing.
Yeah.
On a red noogie.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, that's where the Cadis was born in our eyes. Was Brian was telling us that on the bite when it gets real tough on
real
Brushy.
Tough. Yep.
Cadis.
All the way.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened.
So yeah, we'll just see how the fish react to it, and if they're not trying to just crush it,
Yep.
then we're switching to Cadis 100%.
Yep.
We'll just fish that the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I think it's yeah.
I don't see using spoons that well. I'm trying to remember what we used last year to catch all those perch on.
It was noogies.
It was like a white noogie, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, all noogies is what they were mostly biting on. I think, man, the first couple times I'd been fishing out there, I just straight crushed them on minnow heads. So I'm still always partial to bring minnows with me. But since those first year or two that I'd been fishing out there, minnows haven't caught shit.
We got those salty minnows we can use.
No, I'm not going to worry about that. I might still go down to Johnston here and fill up the angle overnight and see what happens with them.
Sounds good.
Because
we're going to have to leave early.
Yeah.
Registration starts at 6:30.
Yeah, but we don't need to be there till 7.
Oh, I was
really.
going to chat it up there.
But yeah. We can do
We're
that.
going to be fired up.
I will be fired up.
Man.
I'm excited now.
Back on the actual.
I wish we
it's
could
not a
pre-fish.
derby.
So we're breaking my
tournament.
number one rule: no pre-fishing.
And
We hadn't fished out there since early ice when we could only literally walk to one spot.
True.
And it was sketchy at that point.
Oh yeah, that was when the ice was built up a little bit, but then started deteriorating.
So this is going to be a tournament where you got to really rely on memories, and I really don't like that. I don't like that one bit, but we've got some good memories out there, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 what I would call diverse spots.
Oh yeah.
It's not like I got 4 spots that are all kind of, the same structure. All 4 spots are very different depths.
Yep.
I'm fishing different structure. I'm fishing different bottom content.
For different fish.
For different fish, too, yeah.
Yep.
Some of those spots are more my perchy spots. Some are more crappie spots.
But see, I'll even be happy if we don't catch any panfish and we just pull in a 30-inch walleye.
Well, yeah, no shit.
We just show up and we're like, well, we're kind of not, we're out of the tournament, but.
That's fine. Well, I bet that 30-inch walleye's got a couple perch in his belly we could weigh in.
How funny would that be?
Just crack it right open.
Yep. Oh, we got our 10 right here. That's cool. Yeah, Brushy Creek is pretty cool. But we pretty much given up on Big Creek for this year.
Yeah, well, there's already some open water starting to open up on it.
Try getting back after that.
As of today, so, yeah.
For all you guys that are killing it on Big Creek, good job buying the live scope. That was definitely definitely paying off. Yeah. So I see all the comments on Facebook of everyone going on Big Creek. The only people that are actually catching anything decent.
They all got live scopes in the
All
background.
live scope guys. Yep.
Yeah. It's a tough deal out there, man. Well, that's because you're out there. I don't think those fish really hang on a lot of structure. So it's tough to figure it out.
Yep.
But,
yep.
Otherwise, we're coming right up to some late ice stuff.
What are your thoughts on this season so far? How do you feel about it? Are you disappointed?
Short. I felt like it was real short. But also having a baby, I didn't get out as much as I usually do.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird season.
Yeah. It really picked up here the last 2 to 3 weeks. Prior to that, it had been kind of tough. Hadn't really caught much. But this last 3 weeks, I'd say was real good. So hopefully that carries into Brushy.
Well, and I feel like for me, the big anchor trip was going out on the Mississippi. Yeah. That was awesome. We missed you out there. We need to get you out there next year.
Yeah.
Because, man, that made this whole season. Like, after that, I was like, whatever happens now, I'm fine. I'm happy. We caught some nice fish, had a good time.
Yep.
Learned something new.
Yep.
Jeez, I'm good.
Got after it. Good to go. Put a few fish on the fryer.
Yep.
Happy about it.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to do more of that next year. We don't need to do like multiple trips or anything, but I feel like having one kind of anchor trip that really sets the tone for the season.
Yeah.
Makes you content. But yeah, maybe next year we'll go visit some short rod show fans.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to trying that. We'll see what happens.
So yeah, shout out to everybody. If you're interested in fishing with us, shoot us an email. You never know.
Yeah, sure.
You never know. We might show up up in the mountains or out in Colorado.
Well, I would be interested in doing it like an early ice trip. Because really, if I can get out ice fishing in December. That's just fishing on borrowed time.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be interested in doing a little tour, early ice tour sort of deal around the country. But
maybe skip family Thanksgiving, go ice fishing.
Well, I'm thinking maybe in between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Then you're going to have a new baby on the way, so, I mean, that's a little ballsy.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll make it work. Always do.
Yeah. Yep.
That'd be something else. But yeah, so late ice around here, like you said, that means right about now, end of February.
Yep. It's getting
First part of March, we're gonna be dealing with ice melting along the shore, especially.
Yep.
Any kind of flow going in.
Yep.
There's already some ponds around here that have open water starting.
Yep. So what's that mean?
To me, that just means extra caution. I mean, this is when we break the spud bars back out.
I feel like we just got done talking about spud bars,
Yep,
man.
breaking the spud bars back out and not taking anything for granted.
Yep. Put the picks back around your neck.
Yep.
Spud out everywhere you go.
Yep.
Especially if you're... So the key locations that I'm fishing late ice are the areas that I need the spud bar, I need the ice picks, because that's where I want to fish somewhere where fresh water's coming into that system.
Yep.
It's fresh oxygen. It's warmer a lot of times.
Yep.
That's where a lot of those fish are going to be staging up, getting ready for some sort of spawning activity in the spring.
Yep.
So yeah, that's where that comes in key. If you're fishing places where there's still safe ice, inlaid ice, a lot of times those fish aren't there because there's no, I don't know, there's no reason for them to be there.
Yep. With that, when we talk about using spud bars, one of the main reasons that we promote that versus just going out and drilling holes to check is we'll talk about the different conditions of ice. Like late ice, you can have...
This is where you get a lot of different
You can have a foot of ice, right, that is just punctured through... Honeycombed, bad ice, rotten ice, whatever.
Yeah.
And you could still fall through that.
Yep.
Now,
So
if you're taking
how do you identify that?
With a spud bar.
No, with the dry. I'm talking on dry on top. So if it's warm out and and the ice is kind of dry, there's no puddles of water.
Yep.
That means the water's getting through the ice. So it's porous.
As it's melting, it's falling in. Yeah.
That means the ice is crap. Don't mess with that stuff. But if the water's still sitting on top, you still got there's some clear solid ice below somewhere.
It's actually holding it.
Yeah.
It's not perforated, yeah.
Yep.
But with your spud bar, I mean, still, the same thing holds true.
Yep.
However many hits you can get through on early ice and be comfortable on, that's going to hold up through late ice and bad ice, honeycombed ice, whatever.
Yeah, so you'll still poke through it.
That's the shining star example of using a spud bar versus punching holes with your auger.
Yep.
Saying, oh, it took, 5 seconds and it's 12 inches thick. Well, that might not actually be good ice at 12 inches.
Yeah, that's poor ice probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so in a lot of those kind of areas that you'll find that poor ice would be, so specifically talking about some of these ponds would be your inlets and your outlets where water's coming in.
Yep.
And then in some of the bigger lakes, I'm looking for coves. I'm looking for areas where water is concentrated coming into that body of water. And I'm also looking for a cove that's got some depth to it. Depth is kind of relative to the body of water you're fishing. But kind of a rule of thumb that I always kind of run with is I don't really fish much deeper than 30 feet. There's some release and fish problems at that depth. And also I don't know. You got to fish so damn slow that I can't do it. So I don't really fish much deeper than 30 feet. So usually I'm looking for, if I'm considering something that at depth is going to be at least 75% of that depth. So if your pond is only 10 foot deep, I'm considering 7.5 foot to be fairly deep still. If your pond's 20 foot deep, I'm considering 15 to be some depth. So if you got some depth coming into those coves, I'd start there here as late ice starts coming on.
Yeah, and they're the same spots that froze up first.
Yeah,
ice
A lot of times they're the same spots. Yep.
They're going to have the thickest ice, and in general, you'll be all right. Something that near and dear to my heart would be old Big Woods Lake over in Cedar Falls. Had
a little accident over the weekend.
Had 6 people fall in
one day
in 3 separate incidents. 2 of them required, the fire department to come out and haul the people out. But
everybody's all right.
Everybody's all right.
Good.
One guy got out on his own and refused medical treatment. Die-hard kind of guy.
Tough. Probably Brandon.
It might have been Brandon. I haven't talked to him yet. See if it was him.
To him. He'll hear this.
Brandon, Call in.
Yeah.
Check in with us. But, yeah, so about 40 yards off the bank in 3 separate incidents, starting about noon.
Kind of the same area?
6 p.m., same area.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
So, yeah, this
must have been right by a boat ramp or something.
Frustrating. It is, yeah, there's access right by there.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty decent spot to fish, too. So
yeah, there's some depth right there, if it sounds, from what it sounds like.
But, yeah, there's some springs and some things to look for around there that makes it a little sketchy.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't realize that was that big of a... I didn't know there were springs in that lake.
Yep, not good. So, yeah, just keep your head on a swivel and keep your Spud Bar close.
Yeah,
Take
be smart about it.
Yeah, you know, like we talked about earlier. That's one of our more popular episodes, really, the ice safety episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Having some rope.
Yep.
Throwable.
Bit of rope.
Float, something like that.
Toss her out there, be good to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's good. What else we got, Brett?
I don't know. I'm still trying to think of late ice fishing stuff that I get excited about. Right now is getting to be the time you start thinking about catfishing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you never really stop thinking about catfishing.
You talking ice catfishing?
I'm talking
summer catfishing.
I'm talking ice going into ice out catfishing.
Yep.
Right now around here, with water opening up, prime time to find some dead shad floating in the water. Just go pick the shit out of that stuff. Take it home. Don't put it in your house freezer.
Speaking from experience?
Yeah, don't do that. But yeah, that's big time catfish bait. If you're going to then go find some ice, or on the other side, a lot of times you can fish the other side of the lake and it's still froze up. You can get on it. Take that shad over there. Go fish that sucker. Or where you found that shad, get as close to that as you can safely. Fish that spot.
And why would you not put it in your home freezer?
Because I don't want a divorce. Because shad stinks terrible.
Oh, even if it's wrapped up, Ziploc bag.
Yeah, I still wouldn't put it in my actual food freezer.
I'm just curious.
I wouldn't do it. Some people would, I'm sure.
Get you a good little.
I see some
freezer.
pictures of some people putting fish in their bathtub, and I can never even imagine a scenario where I would put fish in my bathtub. Like, I don't know what I mean. I don't ever have fish lively enough in my possession by the time I get home for them to go in my bathtub.
Those guys with their fancy live wells are keeping them pretty spunky.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. Probably.
I don't know. I could never imagine a situation where that
What's
would be.
that? They can squirt something in the water too for minnows that keeps them going. It's
water?
like blue juice.
Oxygen?
No, it's like some kind of
Gatorade?
additive. Minnow Gatorade.
Gatorade? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're using. But yeah, we never get home with fish that are flopping around more than a couple.
Yeah, and they're going right on the cleaning table.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, so I don't know where the heck people do that for. But anyways, yeah, put a couple bits of shad gut on your hook, set it down there.
Yep.
There'll be some catfish down there, man. They're feeding on those shad like crazy.
Yep.
Right now they're starting to fatten up, or especially as warmer water starts entering the system.
And use a pretty big chunk?
This early, if I was doing it tomorrow, I'd still
big.
go with a smaller chunk. And then it would slowly get bigger until ice out, and then I'd put a whole shad on.
Do we get any
Cut up
points
shad.
for catfish at this tournament?
No points.
Okay.
Just points in your heart.
That still counts.
Yeah.
We'd still do it.
Yeah. What else is there?
Man, it just seems like forever since I've been out on the ice.
I know.
It's only been like a week and a half.
I know it.
Dang it.
All I've really been thinking about now is ice fishing, brushy.
Ice fishing,
Tournament
brushy,
fishing.
kicking butt, taking names.
Yeah.
Short rod shows coming at you.
Coming at you hot. With the
with the little quad, pulling the otter out.
Yeah.
What I want to have happen is we pull up there in our setup. Super,
Okay.
I mean, not low buck, but it's not matched. It's not like a $1,000 otter setup and a $10,000, $20,000 side by side.
Yeah.
You know, we got the otter and a old 4-wheeler.
Oh, yeah.
And then somebody in a side by side pulls up next to us, and they're like, "All right, go!" And we take off, and we're doing like max 10 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And
We'll
these
get blown
guys are
away.
just-
But we'll still make it back to the ramp.
Yeah, we don't have a battery to go dead or anything.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have those problems. First pull every time.
Or we don't fall in because the thing weighs 300 pounds.
Yeah, we can.
So that's also
Those back tires will float you up.
True.
Yeah,
Does have
this
a
will be
lot
the
of
first time I've had transportation on the ice on Brushy, so we'll be able to get a little bit further out. Probably explore some water that I haven't really fished before. Still probably try to put 10 good fish in the bucket before we start doing a lot of exploring. But
what's the weather looking like?
56 degrees.
Holy.
So t-shirts, shorts,
T-shirts.
flip-flops,
Yeah.
sunscreen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad. It's a sad day in February.
It might even. I mean, it still gets cold at night, leading up to Saturday. So I'm sure around the trees will be all right still. But
Yeah, that's another thing to look out for. Dang
yeah,
it.
it thaws out a lot quicker around the trees. But
Yep.
it is what it is.
It'll be interesting. It'll
Yeah.
definitely put us to the test.
Yeah, I'll be
One last
interested.
hurrah.
With it being that nice, though, I gotta imagine there's gonna be quite a few folks show up. The last year there, we had to battle through some conditions on those tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, negative temps did not.
Yeah. And we won't have to battle snow. There won't be any
Bother
snow
us.
on the ice.
Yep.
So it should pull pretty easy.
Well, as long as we can get some traction.
Oh, we'll get traction.
There's got to be a little slush on the ice for that thing to get around decent.
Well, maybe in the morning it might be tough. Then the afternoon we'll be ready to roll.
So when we were on the Mississippi with two other guys, and me riding it, it was all it could do to try and get going. Just spinning tires over
on the slick ice?
I mean, it was dry ice. It wasn't like wet or anything, which is good. I think if it was a little bit wet, we'd been
Nowhere.
screwed.
Yeah. We'd have to push
Yeah,
yourself
we
out
literally
there.
just got a little bit of traction going over. I was hitting the snow drifts, trying to pick some speed up to get going.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
we'll make it. With two
Yeah.
guys, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. First spot, so if there's fresh water coming in, so it's going to be warm.
Yep.
I'm just trying to think it through my thought process.
You're thinking on the north side or running to the south
Oh, well,
side?
it opens on the north. It starts on. Never really ice fish the south side. And it's a long haul of a run to go all the way down there.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I'd pass on that. Maybe go halfway south, but that'd be
Well,
about
we've
it.
never been down there. Fish what we know.
Well, yeah.
gotta
Especially
get-
tournament time, you don't go
Yeah.
off of your beaten path.
Yep.
But what I'm trying to think of is where I'd want to start with it. Starting to warm up a little bit. There's a few spots I know of kind of in some cuts in the back that kind of where some structure butts up, a couple pieces of structure butt up next to each other. So there'll be a little,
Oh,
I think that's kind of right where there's some trees in there, and I know there's a rock pile in there. And then, it starts to kind of come up, and hopefully there'll be a little bit of fresh water pumping into it down there, and the crappies will be on it.
That'd be awesome. Getting in some crappies.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we can find. I've never really caught real huge crappies out of there, but they've always been nice.
Yeah. We
11,
get 10
12,
of them.
11, 12 inches.
You think we get 10 of them?
Maybe.
It's gonna
I
be
mean,
tough.
we'd have to sell out on fishing for crappies. I mean,
I
you
know,
have
but-
to be fishing suspended the entire time.
Well, that's fine. At least one guy does that.
Yeah, that'd
Somebody
be
else
you.
does something else. I'll do it. I'll take one for the team.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Good deal. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We'll have to let you guys know how it all goes.
Game
Actually,
on.
just when you open up your newspaper Monday morning,
You'll see a
you'll
banner.
see us.
Yeah, a banner with our name on it.
Short Rod Show,
Boom. Cleans house.
reigning champions.
Short Rod Show cleans house.
We'll see. Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Sure had a good time talking ice fishing with you, and
Yeah.
we got some more to come this season yet. We're not giving up the ghost.
Yeah, it's coming up. The end's coming up quick, though.
Yep. But yeah, leave
It's been
your
a good season.
It has, absolutely. We always say we appreciate the feedback, and we really
What
do.
episode are we on? 20?
I think this might be 20. Yeah, 20 or 21.
Have you not been counting? Have you not been
I
saying it
mean-
at the beginning of every episode for a while?
I had, and then I kind of lost track. Yep. Yeah, that's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Yep, you guys have been there following along with us the whole way. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, until next time, we'll talk to you later.
On the Short Rod Show.